Nigel and Gabby, I'm actually interrupting a sound check right now with Mark Bryant and Hootie and the Blowfish. Sorry, man.
That's okay. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Doing great.
So you're out playing some golf a little bit earlier?
What a day. I got to play golf and music all in this beautiful Greenville weather. It's been really good.
How do you have energy now to get up here and whenever, an hour from now and actually perform?
With music, the adrenaline always kicks in. Like, I don't know what it is. Once you start playing, you just get a level of adrenaline that just kicks in. It doesn't matter how tired you are.
I've always wanted to ask you this. You all obviously are a Columbia, South Carolina band. You've been around for a little while. When you're performing in South Carolina, do you feel a special need to kick it up a notch or something because you're here in the Palmetto State?
I feel a need every time I get on stage. I feel a need to kick it up a notch for sure. So I bring it everywhere I go. I'd like to think that I bring it in Boston as much as I would in South Carolina too. But there's something special about South Carolina because the people in the crowd feel a connection with us because we're from here. And so it always sort of heightens the energy level of the show. Like it's almost like a homecoming kind of feel with shows in South Carolina, which is great.
So you sort of have that kindred spirit with fellow South Carolinians.
Yeah. They just there's like a bond we share from having been from here and doing it for so long. So it's cool.
Well, I look forward to seeing you perform tonight. And thanks for talking to me. And best of luck tonight.
Cheers. Thank you guys very much.
All right. Thank you, Mark. He is one of many performances that's going to be here tonight in downtown Greenville. We're at the intersection of Main and Broad Streets. Also, Larry the Cable Guy, a country music star. Steve Azar is going to be down here. It all starts at 6 o'clock tonight. Tim Waller, WYFF News 4, live in downtown Greenville.
Tim, thank you. And we are following breaking news just into our newsroom. Greenville County school officials say Greenville police have issued arrest warrants for a teacher. District officials say the warrants are for assault and battery 3rd degree for League Academy teacher Eric Means. The report from Greenville police says a 14-year-old girl says Means touched her inappropriately over the past few months while at school. The district says Means is on administrative leave during the investigation.
More breaking news just into the newsroom. The Saluda County coroner says a woman from 96 died in a car wreck this morning. The coroner says 22-year-old Jacqueline Amanda McCarthy died in the crash. He says McCarthy was driving on Greenwood Highway and hit a tree. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. The coroner and Highway Patrol investigating the wreck. An official ribbon cutting was held today for the reopening of Interstate 85 in Atlanta. The bridge actually reopened over the weekend. Governor Nathan Deal was on hand for the ceremony today. It collapsed in March after a massive fire below the structure brought it down. Governor Deal thanked President Trump and Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao. He says less than a day after the collapse happened, she called him, pledging to help.
Secretary, please convey on my behalf and on behalf of the citizens of Georgia to the President, thanks for his timely response and thank you for yours.
The incident led to 2 weeks of traffic problems in and around Atlanta. It took crews just over 6 weeks to repair it, almost a month and a half ahead of schedule.
A garage at a Greenville car rental business is a total loss after an early morning fire. You can see the pictures here from Sky 4 next to me. WYFF News 4's Patrick Hushin has the latest.
Witnesses say the flames were rising 50 feet in the air after a garage with vehicles parked inside went up in flames. Just after 5:30 this morning on Lawrence Road, neighbors heard explosions coming from the garage behind the Cash Car Rentals and Sales. One witness shot video as dozens of Greenville City firefighters got to work.
I was in there close. I walked right up to the fence. They didn't have anything barricaded off.
Right.
But I didn't do that until the fire was safe enough to get a little close.
Fire officials reported no injuries, and about an hour after it started, the bulk of the flames were extinguished. An official says 3 vehicles inside the garage were totaled, and firefighters' first job when they arrived on the scene was to keep the flames from spreading.
When the firefighters arrived, they went into a defensive mode first, which basically is protecting the structures around the initial structure that's on fire.
As the fire got started, one man says he got out of bed and looked out of his bedroom window, not 30 feet from the flames.
After about 15, 20 minutes, it was so hot on that side, you couldn't hardly, look out the window.
Wow.
But it was intense heat.
A Greenville City fire official told News 4 that they are fortunate to have so many firefighters on duty during the early morning hours. The fire is now under investigation. In Greenville, Patrick Hushin, WYFF News 4.
Authorities in Anderson County say a suspect is in custody in connection to a shot fired at an investigator following a traffic stop. Authorities say an investigator in an unmarked car tried to stop a motorcyclist last night on Belton Highway. They say Justin Barb fired a shot at the investigator while running away. Authorities say the investigator was not injured and did not fire his weapon. They say Barb was charged with assault, attempted murder, and failure to stop for a blue light.
In Lawrence County, authorities in Waterloo say a box truck somehow became lodged between trees this morning. This happened on Highway 221, and this is Sky 4 video of the scene here. This was around 7:30 this morning when this was taken. The roof of the box truck appeared to be ripped off, as you see. Highway Patrol says thankfully no one was injured and the power lines were down in the area. Still no word on what caused the truck to become lodged between the trees.
Former Fox News chief Roger Ailes has died. He was 77 years old. Ailes' wife issued a statement this morning. She said she was profoundly sad and heartbroken on her husband's passing. Ailes founded Fox News in 1996. He built it into a cable news ratings leader and a platform for right-wing politics.
He commanded tremendous and utmost loyalty amongst his staffers, but also fear, and he ruled Fox News with an iron fist.
No one changed politics more with a single medium than Ailes. He took television to the political space.
He left the network last year after a series of sexual harassment claims. The cause of death has not been released, but a 911 call report indicates he had been hospitalized earlier this month after suffering a severe blow to the head from a bathroom fall at his home.
Coming up, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker tours the damage after a deadly tornado touches down in his state this week, saying disasters bring the best out of everyone.
Plus, why the Chicago Cubs raised the flag to honor Jackie Robinson today, the special guest who helped in the ceremony.
Greenville Driver back at home at Fluor Field tonight. In fact, a doubleheader. The first game starts at 5:30 this evening, so in about 15 minutes will be the first pitch. Expect partly sunny skies, only a slight chance of a stray shower. Humid conditions with light winds. I'll be right back.
Thank you, John. Now here's a look at your winning numbers from the South Carolina Education Lottery. Pick 3, 939.
And your pick 4, 9334.
Just a heartbreaking story here. Officials in Mississippi say a person of interest is in custody in connection to a kidnapping and murder of a 6-year-old boy. Right now, officials are still looking for a second person. This is what happened. Authorities say this little boy, Kingston Frazier, was inside a car sleeping while his mother was at a grocery store around 2 a.m. She left the car running. Officials say 2 men pulled up next to the car, jumped in and stole it with the boy inside. An Amber Alert was issued. Hours later, the car was found with the little boy inside. Authorities say he died from a gunshot wound.
It's a very tragic incident, but I can assure you, Madison County, Rankin County, Hinds County, Jackson, we all are going to work together. It's never a good day when something like this happens. Our hearts go out to the family.
An 18-year-old suspect was arrested today. Authorities are still looking for another man.
A jury in Oklahoma acquitted a police officer who says she shot and killed a driver out of fear last year. The man was seen with his hands up and was unarmed. Tulsa officer Betty Jo Shelby was found not guilty yesterday of first-degree manslaughter. She says she feared for her life when she shot Terrence Crutcher during a traffic stop. She says Crutcher did not obey her commands and appeared to reach for the gun. Prosecutors argued she overreacted. Crutcher's father responded after the verdict was given.
I said that I would accept whatever the verdict was, and I'm going to do that. To let it be known that I believe in my heart that Betty Shelby got away with murder.
About 100 demonstrators later gathered outside the courthouse in protest after the decision was announced.
Today, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker toured the devastation left behind by a deadly tornado. At least 1 person was killed and at least 25 were injured on Tuesday when a tornado hit Barron County. A state of emergency was declared here today. Governor Walker says there could have been even more injuries if the tornado had hit later in the night.
It's obviously tragic, and but at the time, it's amazing talking to some of the others as we walked through along the way. That more people, if it had been later in the night, it could have been much more tragic just because of where people were at in and around the region.
And the governor added that one of the best things as governor is seeing communities come together after a tragedy to rebuild and help others.
Now your live Super Doppler 4 HD weather forecast.
Live Super Doppler 4 HD showing things quiet in the upstate, a couple of thunderstorms in northeastern Georgia, and just a few isolated to scattered rain showers in through the mountains of North Carolina. We'll zoom on in into western North Carolina. You can just see a few pop-up rain showers. That's really about it as they drift off to the northeast at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. This was some very heavy thunderstorm earlier. It was quite strong back in Banks County in northeastern Georgia around Homer, and now that thunderstorm has actually weakened considerably. Still producing some very heavy rain as it's right on the Banks and Franklin County line and moving right up I-85. So it's raining for you folks in Carnesville. You might get some heavy rain and maybe even some lightning. We'll see if this thunderstorm decides to re-intensify, but right now it's way below severe limits. Not even very few lightning strikes from it. Live shot looking over Lake Hartwell, and you can see the cumulus clouds off in the distance. This is actually probably looking over the line into northeastern Georgia, and that's where those thunderstorms could continue to develop as we go through the next several hours. Temperature-wise, we warmed up nicely after we started off with all the cloud cover, and then once the clouds started to break up, the sun came out and we warmed up very quickly. A little bit of a breeze out across the area, as you can see. Southwest at 12 miles per hour in Greenville, south at 12 in Hendersonville. So certain areas have some breezy conditions, others just no wind at all right now at the airport in downtown Anderson. All right, so it's 58% humidity in Greenville, 67% in Anderson, 60% in Spartanburg. So we've raised the humidity levels and dew point temperatures now in the 60s, and when you talk about dew point temperatures, once it gets in the 60s, that's humid conditions. Muggy conditions are dew point temperatures in the 70s, and we're in the upper 60s, so we're pretty close to that. So we're a lot more moisture, which means a pop-up shower thunderstorm certainly possible. We have severe thunderstorm watches up through parts of New York, but this area right here, a very dangerous situation as we go through the night tonight, especially through this evening. Very moderate to high risk of severe weather here in northern Texas, western Oklahoma, south central Kansas, northeastern Kansas. We could be talking about some, not just tornadoes, but strong tornadoes and tornadoes that could stay on the ground for a long period of time, which obviously means a lot of damage. So this is a very dangerous situation. All the ingredients are coming together of a dry line here, very deep moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, a lot of energy in the upper atmosphere with the jet stream, with this storm system, which is producing rain and snow behind it in Denver, with heavy snow west and north of Denver right now. Denver could end up downtown with maybe a couple of inches of snow, and some of the suburbs could even see more, especially just west of Denver. Right now it's 39 degrees in Denver with a mix of rain and wet snow. While it's 81 degrees in Oklahoma City, where they could be talking about some severe thunderstorms with large hail damaging winds. Some of the hail could get as large as baseball-size hail, along with the potential for tornadoes. 92 in Dallas right now. So, gee, you think there might be a front right about through here? Yeah, that's where the cold front is. All right, so as we go through tonight, very dangerous situation here with this low snow back in Denver, severe thunderstorms ahead of it. And the severe weather will move up very quickly up and through the upper Midwest. For us, maybe a couple of thunderstorms to our northwest, which will weaken and then refire up by tomorrow afternoon, especially in the mountains along with that cold front. Tonight, mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies, low 66 degrees, isolated showers, maybe even some thunder. For tomorrow in the Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson area, very warm, humid conditions, slight chance of an afternoon or evening thunderstorm. At around 11 o'clock in the morning, we'll already quickly warm up to 80 degrees. In the Asheville-Hendersonville area, scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms, a 40% chance. I'm giving it high temperature 82. Start off at 65 degrees, warming up to 77 degrees around 11 o'clock in the morning. 4-day plus looks like this. Still very warm the next couple of days. The best chance of thunderstorms in the upstate will be on Sunday afternoon, especially Sunday night into Monday morning with that cold front coming in. Then we dry out briefly on Tuesday. Umbrella winter for tonight. Congratulations to Tracy Head from Greenville.
John, thank you. It's been 70 years since Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball. Today, the Chicago Cubs celebrated the anniversary with a very special ceremony. On this day in 1947, the Brooklyn Dodgers' second baseman played his first game at Wrigley Field. It was just over a month after breaking Major League Baseball's color barrier. Jackie Robinson's granddaughter, Meta Robinson, made her first trip to Wrigley Field today. She helped raise a flag in his honor near the right field corner.
This is my first time at Wrigley Field, and he was just telling me where, the dugout where my grandfather was, and just being here is such an honor to be in a place where he was actually present.
Over 46,000 fans came out to see the game. It remains the highest paid attendance in history of Wrigley Field.
Coming up in News for Your Health, doctors call it a heartbeat in a bottle. How they hope this will help those grieving for their loved ones.
Plus, summer is right around the corner, and if you are planning on being out and about in the sun, we have a guide to help you find what sunscreen is best for you.
In tonight's For Your Health, nurses at Carolinas Medical Center in Charlotte, North Carolina are doing something they hope will benefit people grieving for their loved ones. They created a heartbeat in a bottle. It's a printout of a patient's last heartbeat. Danny Hulk wears his wife's heartbeat around his neck.
We're beating together. We're still beating together. We're together in spirit and in soulmate. And I love her very, very much.
To hear that's something that's a part of his everyday life is a very beautiful thing to me.
A few of the nurses at CMC have quietly done it over the years for loved ones of a few hundred patients, but have recently realized they should do it as often as they can. Walk into any grocer or drugstore right now and you'll find a dizzying array of sunscreens for sale. Which do you choose? Consumer Reports' latest sunscreen review may help. Erica Edwards reports.
Sun worshippers, beware. New test results from Consumer Reports finds not all sunscreens block UV rays as advertised.
Out of the 58 sunscreens that we tested this year, 20 of them did not meet the SPF listed on the label.
And 5 products with an SPF label of 50 were found to have an actual SPF between 0 and 9. The Personal Care Products Council, which represents the sunscreen industry, disagreed with the findings, writing in a statement, "It appears that Consumer Reports' testing methods are not consistent with those used by FDA, and therefore are not the same testing as required by the product manufacturers to assign the SPF designation." Consumer Reports recommends choosing a sunscreen with at least an SPF of 40, which should increase your chances of having an actual sun protection factor of 30. The organization also suggests steering clear of so-called natural sunblocks.
Natural sunscreens tend not to perform as well as the ones with chemical active ingredients such as avobenzone.
Consumer Reports' top picks include Coppertone Sport High Performance SPF 50, Neutrogena Ultra Sheer SPF 45, also the generic brands at Walmart and Target, as well as one that's only $3, the generic Walgreens Well Baby Sunscreen. Erica Edwards, NBC News.
And when in doubt, put more sunscreen on. Many people only put on half of what they need, which means they only get half of the protection.
Coming up, a proposed $3.2 million project in Greenville County, the busy road that could be shut down for nearly a year. Plus, a big hurdle for President Trump before his first visit as president to Israel and the West Bank.
Live local breaking news with Nigel Robertson, Gabrielle Komorowski, and weather with Chief Meteorologist John Cesarich. This is WYFF News 4 at 5.
As we've been telling you, the Stars are in town for the BMW Charity Pro-Am Golf Tournament, but the event is bringing in more than just golfers to our area.
A huge concert tied to the event will unfold in downtown Greenville tonight, and that is where we find WYFF News 4's Tim Waller, who is gearing up for some major tunes.
Nigel and Gabby, I'm standing here thinking about how cool it was 30 minutes ago to interview Mark Bryan of Hootie and the Blowfish. He was up on the stage right here getting ready for the celebrity concert on Main, doing a sound check. And of course, we interrupt the sound check and Mark Bryan steps down and does an interview. Very cool person and a lot of cool talent going to be here tonight for this downtown concert. We're talking about Larry the Cable Guy. He's going to do a stand-up routine. We have Colt Ford from country music. Steve Azar, he's going to be down here. Concert starts at 6 o'clock. It goes all the way to 10 o'clock. This is all part of the BMW Charity Pro-Am, so let's don't forget about the golf portion of that. Let's go out to Thornblade right now, where they were up and at 'em very early this morning. Some very familiar faces out there on the greens, playing golf, all in the name of charity. The tournament has raised millions of dollars for upstate charities over the last 16 years, and this goes all the way back to 2001.
I mean, it's a charity, you're giving back to the community overall, so I mean, that's always a good thing.
$675,000 goes to the person who is furthest under par when this tournament is all said and done, and of course it goes all the way through Sunday. But this is something big that they're bringing to downtown Greenville right now on Downtown Alive Night, and that is a lot of top-name entertainment that's going to be performing right here on this stage. And as I said, Hootie and the Blowfish is going to be among them, minus Hootie. Darius Rucker no longer traveling with this band, but a great time, and it's all free. Bring the family. Tim Waller, WIFF News 4, live in downtown Greenville.
Tim, thank you, with his own personal soundtrack there. Let's turn to weather now as we take a live look outside. This is through our Woodruff Road Skycam, and that is Greenville.
And it is warm and humid out there. Chief Meteorologist John Cesarich is here with us inside the studio. What's it going to be like tonight, John?
Yeah, you know, and at least it's dry, Gabrielle and Nigel, as far as in downtown Greenville, where Tim was live for that BMW concert tonight. So everything's looking pretty good. Even the Greek Festival going on, but most of it's inside, at least as we go through this evening. Of course, tomorrow the Greek Festival really kicks into gear. All the outdoor activities during the day and through the evening, all the way through the entire weekend for the Greek Festival. And I'll be live, by the way, tomorrow at 4, 4:35, 5:30, and 6 tomorrow evening for the Greek Festival in downtown Greenville. All right, take a look at this. A couple of thunderstorms that were quite strong earlier back in Bakes County. They have since weakened considerably as they made their way into Franklin County. A couple of stray showers through the mountains of North Carolina, but it's very warm and very humid conditions, as Gabrielle just mentioned. I'll have the complete forecast for you a little bit later on. Now back to you, Nigel.
John, thank you. Preparations underway in Israel and the West Bank ahead of President Trump's first visit to the region next week. President Trump has pledged to pursue Israeli-Palestinian peace as part of a, quote, ultimate deal. But analysts see few prospects of a breakthrough in a two-day visit that will include Jerusalem and Bethlehem in the West Bank.
It seems that the two sides are not yet ready to make those serious concessions needed to reach a comprehensive final agreement.
The last round of talks collapsed back in 2014. Some Palestinian officials are not sure President Trump will back a two-state solution, which has been the long-time bedrock of U.S. and international policy.
Happening now, the Department of Transportation is holding a public information meeting for a replacement project in Greenville County tonight. It's a bridge replacement project, and that bridge is located on Gibbs Shoals Road, and it crosses the Enoree River. Officials say the bridge was declared structurally deficient back in 2005, but they never had the funding to replace it until now. The proposed $3.2 million project would shift the bridge downstream and raise it 10 feet. If the project is approved, Gibbs Shoals Road could be shut down for at least a year.
Yes, it is going to be inconvenient, but we're hoping to limit that inconvenience by getting in and getting out.
We're told there will be a 6-mile detour in place. Construction is scheduled to start in the spring of 2019. People have 2 weeks to submit a comment to the project's website.
In our Commitment 2017, now today, election officials in 11 South Carolina counties met to focus on the runoff for the 5th Congressional District. Mick Mulvaney held that office until he became the Director of Office of Management and Budget at the White House. The Spartanburg County Board of Voter Registration and Election reconvened this morning as the Spartanburg County Board members certified the results of the runoff that happened Tuesday between Tommy Pope and Ralph Norman. After the certification, the results were transmitted to the State Election Commission. There will be a recount because the race was so close.
We want to make sure that the vote counts are accurate, that all the votes that were cast
whether they were on the machines or cast provisionally or in an emergency status, are corrected.
In Spartanburg County, only 394 voters of the more than 12,000 registered actually voted in the runoff.
Students at the South Carolina School for the Deaf and the Blind will be able to enjoy time in the great outdoors thanks to a big gift from Cabela's. Cabela's of Greenville helped build a permanent campsite at the school in Spartanburg County. The company also donated tents, sleeping bags, and lanterns. Rangers from Croft State Park helped students and the Cabela's team build a campfire ring and accessible picnic tables and benches. The goal is to help the students enjoy the stars, the smell of a campfire, and the taste of s'mores.
Oh, it's awesome. You know, just be able to, seeing them dig the holes and the joy that it brings to them just means the world.
Cabela's of Greenville first got involved with the South Carolina School for the Deaf and the Blind last year. After touring the campus, the company wanted to help the children enjoy the outdoors.
Coming up, our final Golden Apple Award finalist will introduce you to a teacher with a big personality who tries just about anything to inspire her students.
And later tonight, so many do their reading on screens and devices these days, but a group of MIT students have unveiled a new project to help the blind.